The Silent Childhood in Nazareth, a tender story from the early life of Jesus. Nazareth, a quiet village nestled in the hills of Galilee. Nothing remarkable ever happened there, at least not in the eyes of the world. Yet it was here, in this humble place, that the Son of God grew up, not with fanfare, but in silence. Not with miracles, but with work-worn hands. Jesus' childhood was hidden, a life of simplicity, of quiet obedience, of silent love. Each morning the sun rose gently over the hills, lighting the narrow paths where Mary and the young boy walked to the village well. Jesus carried a jar too big for his small arms, yet he never complained. His joy was not in being seen, but in helping, in giving, in listening. Among the village children, he did not stand out because of any outward sign. He was not the loudest, nor the strongest, but he was the most attentive. He listened deeply, not only to words, but to hearts. He played with the other boys, yes, but even in play, he never mocked, never bullied, never hurt. And when he asked questions, they were different, deep, unsettling questions that made the elders pause. Not because they were strange, but because they were wise beyond his years. At home, he worked beside Joseph, the carpenter, a man of few words but deep faith. Together, they shaped wood into tables and doors. Jesus learned how to measure and cut, how to smooth the rough edges, how to create something good with patience and care. But more than that, he learned the value of labor, of humility, of silent sacrifice. Joseph never treated him as just a child. He treated him as a son, and Jesus honored him as a father. Mary, full of grace, watched her son grow with wonder and quiet ache. She knew, somehow, that he was not hers alone. In the stillness of the night, she pondered these things in her heart. Year after year, Jesus grew, not just in age and stature, but in wisdom and grace before God and men. Luke 2:52. He became the boy who helped the elderly fix their roofs, who carried baskets for widows, who sat by the lonely and listened without judgment. No one in Nazareth could have guessed that this boy, the one who repaired wooden stools, was the Savior of the world. His hands, calloused from labor, would one day be pierced for love. His feet, dusty from village roads, would one day walk to Calvary. And yet, he waited. For 30 years he waited, not because he had nothing to say, but because love knows how to wait. He waited so that when he spoke, the world would listen. This was the silent preparation, the hidden life of God among men. The greatness of Nazareth is not in what happened, but in what grew there, unnoticed. From the smallest acts of kindness, from the quiet rhythms of family life, from the stillness of a workshop, the King of Kings learned the beauty of being human. And in that silence, he was preparing to speak the greatest word the world would ever hear.